Welcome to Inside the Paint, an inside look into all the action of the British Basketball League. I'm Jeanette Kwakye, and we are 10 weeks into this season with 17 more to go before we reach the playoffs. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the action. Well, this Friday night, the Plymouth City Patriots travelled north for a rematch against the Newcastle Eagles. Let's take a look at what happened. After going point for point in the opening minutes, Newcastle quickly set the pace and held on to a lead for the remainder of the first half, being as much as 11 points ahead at the start of the second quarter. But Plymouth's new sharpshooter, Tyrell Green, came off the bench to try and save the day, taking advantage of Newcastle's weak defence and scoring 15 points by half-time, cutting the Eagles' lead down to 5 points. Plymouth attempted to build on Green's momentum in the third and fought back to lead the first time since the first quarter. Nevertheless, Newcastle's Jordan Johnson refused to let this continue and turned the Eagles around with his many assists, finishing the third up by 15. The Patriots tried to fight back, but they couldn't keep up with the Eagles' momentum, and Newcastle secured the win at home with a final score of 98-82, and Jordan Johnson rightfully being named Player of the Game. What a game, what a game. And for Jordan Johnson, for him, what a game. The stats were through the roof tonight.
He's been doing a fantastic job all season long. And, you know, we discussed it during the game. I feel like the team, they're all warming up to him more and more as the games go on. And it's showing, it's resulting in wins, you know. So hopefully I feel like we're seeing the potential start to flourish and sort of come to life.
And for you, Jordan, what was it for you looking at Plymouth? Where do they go next? You know, they had that great win against London Lions. Sorry to mention it. But for them now, where do they go?
You know, back to the drawing board. They have to play hard. One thing they can look forward to is Tyrell Green. Issue for them all year long has been some of that depth. But I think if you're Coach James, you come away encouraged. 21 points from him. You try and build off that, and then you try and get Taylor Johnson back in a rhythm. Kind of a tough night for him. Hats off to Newcastle for guarding him really well.
Absolutely. Well, the other game on Friday night saw the Sheffield Sharks host the Leicester Flyers. Calling it was Josh Bett and Dan Clark. And guys, what happened during this matchup?
Well, thank you very much, Jeanette, and you, of course, Dan. It was a very, very close game right up until the end, but I just felt the Sharks show more composure, more synergy, more collective nature, but you know, offensively, Leicester couldn't stop them.
No, I think you've nailed it right there, Josh. I think, you know, Sheffield established that inside presence with Bennett Cock in the first half. Really made him, you know, go to work. You know, that right-hand hook was really working well for him. And Leicester just, you know, made too many little mistakes that just led to easy baskets for the Sharks. And then in the second half, you know, I think Devell Ramsey and Jalen Pitkins really took over and led them to victory.
I mean, it's an interesting game because Leicester dominated the rebounds, got to the charity stripe a lot more, made most of their free throws, but the perimeter shooting, only 5 3-point field goals. That was the telling factor. Yeah,
and if you look at all the teams across the league this year in the BBL, a lot of the teams that are winning games are shooting a high percentage from the three-point line. You know, it's a big factor, especially in the modern game and the way basketball's played at the moment. It's a higher pace, and you know, shooting the three-point shot is an extremely valuable weapon for every team.
And of course, you know, something that was very uncharacteristic about Leicester. How many times they just gifted the Sheffield Sharks? I mean, at one point it was 23 transition points from turnovers to 2. I mean, how many times did the Sharks? I mean, 13 steals, but you know, as we said, they weren't really steals, were they?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stats, it wasn't an excessive number of turnovers for the Leicester Riders, but it was the way they turned the ball over. They were basically gifts. They were wrapped up and put under the Christmas tree for the Sharks just to go and take them. So yeah, that would be the disappointing thing for Rob Paternoster and his team tonight.
Well, Merry Christmas soon, I guess, to everybody up in Yorkshire. And what a full court shot that we did see from Jalen Pitkins. Jeanette, back to you. All done from here. Thank you.
Josh, Dan, thank you very much. And we're spoiling you. We've got a weekend of double headers coming your way, starting off Saturday with the Surrey Scorchers hosting the Bristol Flyers. When these teams met last week, Surrey secured a massive win, which elevated them into playoff contention. And Jordan, Surrey, they haven't had the best of starts this season. That's going to give them so much confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they started rough. I like Surrey. I like watching them play. As Dan mentioned, three-point shooting is a big part of the style of the game, and they shoot a lot of threes. One thing they haven't had is a healthy Patty Wang, and he's starting to find his stride. He's starting to get back in rhythm. They missed Justin Robinson for a couple games, and so as they start to get healthy, get to know each other, hopefully they can turn some of these close losses into W's.
Well, let's see if they can do that. Coach Lloyd was in the studio last week. How do you think he's feeling off the back of that win?
I've been speaking to Coach Lloyd about it, and, you know, my frustrations, I think, are, no, not as bad as Coach Lloyd.
I don't expect them to be.
let me not say that. But, you know, the frustration is we see the potential. You know, what I discussed with him is if they weren't a good team, we wouldn't see flashes. And we've seen flashes of them doing things really, really well. And it's just trying to put that together for 40 minutes. So I feel like it'll encourage the guys and hopefully help them get over the hump.
Okay, let's see what Surrey Scorchers can do. The second game, though, on Saturday, we'll see the Newcastle Eagles travelling to take on Caledonia Gladiators. This is the first time these two teams will meet this season. And Drew Lasker, he can give us the down low on this. This is Newcastle's second game in 2 days so far this season. And they've struggled to win back-to-back games. Drew, how do you think they're going to do with this one?
Well, everyone struggled to win back-to-back games this season, but Newcastle are suddenly rolling, winning 5 out of 6. And for them, this is a measuring stick game. Obviously, there's challenges of turning around 24 hours, but I think they need to slow the game down, make it an ugly contest, and prove that they can win in a different way. And hopefully they come up with the win.
And for you as well, Drew, Caledonia, still unbeaten at home. What will Newcastle need to do if they want to change this? It's a fortress up there.
Yeah, not many teams have been able to win up there in the last 2 years. I believe only the London Lions, but they're going to have to do what they've been doing over the last 6 games, and that's moving the ball offensively, giving the basketball to the violinist, Jordan Johnson, and everybody playing off of him. But they're going to have to do a much better job defensively and be ready to play 20 seconds of defense because Caledonia likes to move the ball. So they can't have any defensive breakdowns, and that's going to be the only way they're going to be able to steal a win up north.
Okay, well, Drew, thank you very much. And just listening to what Drew's saying there, Jordan, do you agree with what he says? Especially with Caledonia, to go out there and win is very difficult.
Well, we heard Coach Studel. The key for Newcastle is defense. Defense. As good as Jordan Johnson was tonight, he can be that good, but if they don't guard in the second half, they're not going to get to win. So I do agree with Drew, except for the operative word. Everybody had a tough time winning back-to-back. We know one team that doesn't, but I won't get into that right now.
Oh, dear.
You know, I ain't going to do that right now.
Well,
I love it.
make sure to let us know what you think. Leave a comment down below to let us know if you agree with our team, our commentary, our guests. Give us your prediction for the week ahead. And our first game on Sunday, we'll see Jordan and the rest of the London Lions travel to Manchester to face off against the Manchester Giants. And back to you, Jordan. I mean, you suffered your first league defeat. It takes a bit of time to be able to bounce back from that kind of stuff. But you are a busy team at the minute. How are you managing?
Depth. One thing that we can hang our hat on is depth. You know, even to 1-2, I believe it's 15 now. We just signed Rokas. We have young guys. Kareem Quilly's coming back off injury. Bradley Kaboza, Remy. We got Kieran Sandy. All those guys are capable players, capable of getting the job done. So it really just comes down to, you know, believing in each other, playing together, having the discipline that coach puts into us, and going with that.
Do you know, there's one thing though, Ovie. When another team beats a team that's undefeated, it kind of opens the gates a bit, doesn't it? Do you think Manchester might take advantage of that and just see that actually there may be a chance?
I don't see a chance.
This is so biased.
But you know what? No.
Ovie a lion, man. That trip.
I'm a lion at heart. No. But to be very honest, you know, Manchester, they always put up a great fight against London. So I'm sure they're going to come up there prepared. They're going to be ready to, you know, punch these guys in the mouth. But Lions, you know, they typically this season have done a terrific job of sort of responding to that. I do have one question. Is Robertson's going to dunk on someone again? I'm sick and tired of seeing it, Jordan. You got to speak to the guys. I'm tired of seeing him dunk all over the big man.
My man Josh Sharma's back. He tried that last game, but in the words of the great philosopher French Montana, we ain't worried about nothing.
French Montana, the philosopher.
We ain't worried
Wow.
about nothing, you know.
I think we should move this on. To finish off the weekend, the Cheshire Phoenix will host the Surrey Scorchers on Sunday evening. We're joined with our commentary dream team, Todd Harris and Azania Stewart. And Azania, these are two teams that take the most three-pointers in the league. Should we expect a bit of a shootout?
Well, they both love the three-point, don't they, Jeanette? Thank you. Great point. But for me, you know, Cheshire, Aaron Rye, Player of the Month, he's one that is back. But Ethan Chagua has stepped up. They had a huge win versus Leicester, 102-96. He had 23 points, 8 rebounds and 6 assists. He has definitely stepped into that role, and they're playing very, very well, Todd.
Surrey comes into this as a 3-9 team, so you'd look at Cheshire at 8-4. They should dominate Surrey. What could Surrey do to maybe trip them up? Do they have any kind of firepower and trickery that they could maybe catch them?
Well, the thing is, Surrey's been tripping up everyone, but they trip up themselves at the finish line. They just haven't figured out how to finish and get there, but they get that big win versus Bristol. But the big thing for Surrey, they've got back-to-back games. They've got to play Saturday night and then play Sunday. There's a lot of minutes in the game, so it's going to be a difficult game.
Not easy to do back-to-back games. Jeanette, we send it back to you.
Thank you very, very much. Well, let's take a look at all of these fixtures and results that are coming up in week 10. It's going to be a busy one. As you can see, Friday night already, super busy. Sheffield Sharks, they took that victory 91-84 over the Leicester Riders. Bristol Flyers took the loss to Manchester Giants 68-74. And then, of course, the Newcastle Eagles 98-82 as they hosted the Plymouth City Patriots. But on Saturday, we've got a doubleheader for you. Surrey Scorchers against the Bristol Flyers on our YouTube channel at 5 o'clock, followed by the Caledonia Gladiators and the Newcastle Eagles at 8. Then on Sunday, the Manchester Giants host the London Lions at 3 o'clock. Cheshire Phoenix take on Surrey Scorchers at 6. Both of those games on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Well, that's all from us this week. Drop a comment below. Let us know who you're cheering for and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the unbeatable action from the British Basketball League. It's bye for now.